Hey, what's up? This is Fabian. Today I wanted to check in, let you know some of the reasons why I regret buying my cinema camera, specifically my C70. A lot of people ask me kind of when they see me shooting or they know that I have it, they say, how do I like it or what do I think about it? I love telling people that it's one of the stupidest decisions I've made purchasing that camera. So it's probably why you clicked on this video too. But I did want to kind of like let you peek behind the curtain of what my process was in buying this camera, the regrets that I have, and also the pros to this camera. So, and this is all just my opinion. These are things that I think about, and I'm in a different spot than probably you are. You might be further ahead than I am. I'll start off by telling you the story of purchasing my C70. In 2020, I started developing relationships with some creative agencies here in Houston. One of the agencies mainly focused on photography. One of their clients is a restaurant here in the Heights, but they needed a commercial. They had won this contest from Comcast to get a national ad, and they had like a spending budget and things like that. I was able to do my first national ad with this agency, which was a really cool opportunity. We kind of went all the way from the idea stage to execution. So we had a budget for renting gear. We pretty much just start scratching our neck when people say they have a budget for rentals, and we act like crackheads. I had a lot of experience shooting with a C100, and so I really wanted to use a C200 at the time, C200 Mark II, I think. I went all over Houston trying to get one, trying to rent one. I found out that I needed like this absurd amount, $2,000 to $3,000, and I'm over here like no one else had a C200 that I could rent. So I tried renting a C70. I started doing some more research about it. Everyone's camera was out on a rental or on a production. What's this camera worth? And so I go on B&H and I found out that it's only a certain amount of cost a month. And so my dumbass decides to spend all of my rental budget on getting this camera. I mean, getting the camera was just a horrible experience. The camera got delayed. Next thing you know, like it was cutting really close to the shoot, and so it was cutting into prep time and all this stuff like that. So it was like a huge anxiety-provoking situation of purchasing this camera. I look back at it and I just think it was just so dumb. In my mind, I'm just super optimistic. I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be great. It'll pay for itself. Not thinking that what if it doesn't pay for itself? What if it doesn't rent out? What if the work doesn't come in? There was a lot of like learning curves in it, and I think for me personally, purchasing this camera 1 year or a little over a year into me starting my business probably wasn't the smartest move. The first con, definitely the high cost of the camera for my small business being within 2 years, it having its limited resources pretty much tied up into gear wasn't a really smart move.
It's called don't buy stuff you cannot afford.
With the new camera comes all of these new features. It's complex, it's different. So there might be a learning curve, for me to go through and learning how to operate this camera and learning what to do with it. What I do like about Canon, and it's pretty much ready to shoot out of the box. Put a lens on and you're pretty much good to go. Canon, in my opinion, is a little bit more user-friendly. Call me an idiot, whatever. The other thing that's kind of a downside, but I think it's a positive, is the weight and the size. If you're doing a lot of run and gun things, it can definitely get really, really heavy. I think my camera right now is at about 11 or 12 pounds, fully rigged out, which I enjoy shooting like that. On now, 50-year-old Fabian might go back and say that I'm a fucking idiot because his back hurts. But you know what? That's the old man's problem. It's not mine. I do find that it's easier to balance, and just I think the handheld with some good weight to it just looks gorgeous. It has encouraged me to kind of work out a little bit and get physical so I can actually carry my gear without crying for a couple of days afterwards. The other thing that can be a little bit nerve-wracking, and another con on this is the risk of obsoleteness. So I think we live in a time where like cameras are coming out like more than iPhones. Everyone's on this DSLR phase and this mirrorless phase, and now on cinema, like everyone wants to know about the Komodo and about the camera, the C70 and the FX3 or FX6. So there's this hype. These companies are coming out with more and more cameras that are accessible for more people. I think that that's kind of what is making some of these cameras just obsolete a little bit quicker. This camera is going to go down in value within the next couple of years, but my tripod might not. My C-stands won't. Mics for sure hold their value, you know, for a lot longer than cameras do, just because there's not really any innovation going on in that. And so I think thinking more in that way, just depending on where you were or where you are in your business or your career. And me and my business, I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm trying to figure out whether how much I really enjoy doing smaller commercial jobs to how can I make money off of, you know, doing what I really love, which is, you know, documentaries. So it's just kind of like something that I'm going through and trying to work on cash flow and really getting to a spot where I'm able to really cover all of the costs and live comfortably and feed all these fucking kids. Hey, what's up? This is Editing Fabian right here. A couple things I forgot to mention. Number one is when I was talking about my mic, my monitor, my mat box, my power system, like my V-mount powering system. The thing that's really cool about that stuff is that can grow with whatever camera package you get, like your rails, your rail mounts. The things that aren't really going to grow or be able to go with the next camera you get is the camera specific cages and, you know, top plates, base plates, things like that. So those are kind of things that might not be able to upgrade or downgrade with you. So when you're buying something, kind of think about, you know, the accessories, what's going to be a little bit more future proof. The pros, definitely, I think, just the specs on the cameras. The pros to buying a camera like this is it has dynamic range, built-in ND filters, all of the bells and the whistles that you would normally want in a camera. It has, and it takes your footage, I think, to like another level where more professional, or you know, you really start to learn how to manipulate light and how to keep your camera at its native settings where, you know, the image is going to look the best. That's kind of where I'm at with my camera. I know it's not a whole lot of pros, but you know, 500,000 other people made videos on pros. So, but I wanted to share my experience on where I was in my journey in my career. If I could make the choice again, would I do it? I probably wouldn't, because then I wanted to rig my camera out. And so I started buying a tons of stuff for the camera to just, you know, build it out. I had an acquaintance saying that we were doing quite a bit of projects together, and they wanted to buy a red camera. He was trying to make the argument of, don't you think we'll get more clients, or don't you think we'll get more work if we get this camera? I haven't really kept up with him since, so I'm not really sure where this is at, but he was asking me if he should buy that camera, and I told him blatantly honest that I think that would be a stupid decision to buy a red Komodo or a C70 or whatever camera if you don't have the work coming in. You know, and I don't know anybody's business. I just know my own, right? We have a mortgage payment. We got a lot of kids. We have bills. And so there are times where I have to tell myself no, like I shouldn't buy this piece of gear unless I have a project that's gonna pay for it or be able to do it, and kind of filter my decisions through that, which is hard because we live in a time where like every YouTube recommendation and the YouTube videos that do well are YouTube videos about stupid cameras and about gear and accessories and just buying, and we're very much fucking consumers. I want to kind of shed some light on my decision making and even my mistakes, the mistakes I made in this journey and the things that I'm doing. And I still have a lot to learn. 2 months from now or 2 years from now, what I think or believe could be different, but this is where I'm at now. If I could have gone back, I would have definitely tried to rent a camera. I definitely would have spent some more money on color grading, because that's the thing, honestly, that I hate the most. Is it just makes me want to gouge my eyes out, is color grading. So you judge my videos because of the color, feel free to grade it for me. I would love that. But can I afford it? I don't know. It depends on the project. So one of the purchases that I wish I should have made instead of the camera was a small business course for my company. It's basically learning how to price, learning how to get clients, learning how to do all this stuff. And I did this small business bootcamp by the future. Like, it was just as much as my camera was. And I wish I would have made that purchase first and invested in myself. Now, some of you guys might be really savvy when it comes to business and stuff like that. I'm still learning and growing, and for me, I would have made a purchase in my education and in a course like that, I think would have had a bigger effect for me financially than buying a camera. With the camera, you still have to find the clients. You still have to find your pricing structure. You have to find out how much are you spending on your business, and how much do you need personally to live off of? How many clients do you want to have? And then you have to price towards that. And then you have to find out, well, who do I enjoy working with? Who do I not enjoy working with? You know, this isn't really like a plug for the business course, but the future, they have a lot of courses that they offer that are a lot cheaper and a lot less. I felt like I was at a place where I needed to invest in myself. Who knows the effects and the return I'm going to get in that investment in the future because of what I've learned. So this is just my personal opinion. This is where I'm coming from. This is my experience with owning the camera. I really enjoy shooting with it. It is one of my favorite cameras that I've shot with. Thanks for checking out this video. Peace.